What's up guys, Fahan here and welcome back to another ultimate review. This is the review of the KYMCO AK550 Premium. Huge thanks to Motor Sport for loaning me this bike for the review. Alright guys, so before we begin review, we just want to highlight something very important. We noticed that 58.8% of our regular viewers are not subscribed to the channel. As you guys know, we've worked so hard on these videos, day and night of planning, scripting, shooting and editing. So all we humbly ask is for you guys to support us by subscribing to the channel. Why? Because this actually triggered the YouTube algorithm to push out the channel and these videos to a wider audience. Okay, so welcome back to the city of Medini, and of course this is my playground, my favorite place to review and test motorcycles, because there's basically nothing here. Well, there is some government offices and condos and what have you not, but mostly undeveloped, and we got a city to ourselves, which is why I say that this is my playground. I own these streets here. Okay, so here I have with me is KYMCO's flagship, the KYMCO AK550 Premium 2024. Okay, I think Motor Sport Singapore, they brought this in early this year. This is their demo bike. Check out license plate guys, matches the bike itself, 550. I have to applaud the bosses of Motor Sport for being excited on this AK550 Premium, and I'm excited as well. They've borrowed me this bike for a couple of days now, and basically I've been using this bike like my own bike, and I have to say that I'm pretty impressed with it. When you usually think of a touring scooter, you usually think of the Yamaha T-Max and the Forza 750. Of course, riders tend to forget that KYMCO specializes in manufacturing scooters. Even the BMW C series of scooters, KYMCO manufactures their engines for them. That says a lot about the company, yeah. And of course, with a name like AK550 Premium, this is the premium luxury version of the base model. More angular in design, more tech, and we're gonna talk about it in the static review. Okay, so sitting on this bike right now. Oh man. It's a hot day today. I'm also fasting at the same time, so do forgive me guys. Tend to forget some info, or maybe, you know, I jumble up a few words. With a weight of 226 kg, it's kind of heavy, but it's in similar leagues of the T-Max, Forza 750. It should weigh similar given its size and length. You use it to transponder, so basically you press this on button over here. TFT LCD gauge cluster lights up, brake in, starter. There's this exhaust note which I really love. It's very deep, very throaty, but at the same time it's not too irritating, you know, and it sounds pleasant to my ears, I have to say. So there's a lot of riding tech that comes with this bike, which I'm probably gonna explain in a while. Twist and go, and we're moving already. Woo. So I have been with this bike for the past 5 days now, just riding it, and I have to say its handling is superb. You can feel the grip of the tires, and of course, as with these Euro spec premium scooters, the signal indicators, they have this sound similar to cars. I think the DTX 360 also has it. In case you forget to turn off your signal whatsoever, this will help you alert, you know, hey, I forget to turn off my signal. Personally, I feel like the way the engine setup is, I feel as if it is using a DCT or something, because I can feel it changing gears as I'm slowing down or coming to a stop. So it may be using a DCT, but it's an automatic transmission, because there's this jerk as if the bike is shifting down as I'm slowing down and coming to a stop. So that's pretty interesting. And KYMCO, they did not say much about this. They simply said, according to the spec sheet, it's a automatic CVT transmission. You know, when you're negotiating a corner, you're negotiating a bend, as I've said, you can really feel the grip of the bike. It just sticks to the tarmac. You feel very confident just negotiating bends and turning at high speeds. We also got traction control and cornering ABS, which really helps with the maneuverability. Look at this. Oh man, this is probably in a long time I'm very confident of his scooter whereby I can just do a pylon slalom like this, and I know that the bike, and I trust that the bike will keep me safe when I wouldn't self-skid or even drop the bike when negotiating tight corners and bends at high speeds. Handling is really on point, especially the cornering ABS or AIBS, which what KYMCO calls. It helps to monitor as you're negotiating a corner or bend. City riding, no issues, stop traffic, feels like a dream. It's not too overpowering, but at the same time, when you want to whack the bike, the twist of a throttle, it really goes. Coming to a stop, there I feel the jerk as I'm stopping the bike.
First introduced in 2017, the KYMCO AK550 maxi-scooter was launched. In late 2023, KYMCO updated the model with updated design and technology. Focusing on luxury and premium features, the KYMCO AK550 Premium is now the company's flagship, in direct competition with the Yamaha T-Max series. With an aggressive and futuristic styling, features such as cruise control, traction control, and a cornering ABS system are added, making long-distance travel an easier and enjoyable ride. Engine is a 550cc, liquid-cooled, inline twin-cylinder, 4-stroke 8-valve DOHC with electronic fuel injection and an automatic CVT transmission.
Right guys, so before we begin with the static review, we're just going to give a bit of background for the AK550 Premium. The AK550 has been out in the market for quite some time now, and I think this is the third generation. It's directly based on the KYMCO K50 concept, which debuted during the 2014 Milan Motor Show. It was also introduced with World Order dancing on stage in Tokyo, in which when I first saw that video, I'm like, what the hell were they thinking? Getting a J-pop band to introduce a bike, I mean, that is really something. It was to celebrate KYMCO's 50th anniversary, and it was always been conceptualized as a tourer and the brand's flagship. Seems that most of the K50 concept has been retained for the production model. And so additionally, the name AK pays tribute to KYMCO's 50th anniversary, with AK standing for, forgive my Italian, Anniversario KYMCO. I'm going to put the subtitle here because obviously I butchered that and it's the wrong pronunciation. But yeah, it means Anniversary KYMCO in Italian. And I'm guessing that the 550cc is still coincident as well. So as usual, I'm going to start with the riding posture. Okay, so sitting on this bike right now, as you can see, is this typical scooter riding position. Very much like sitting on a chair. And I also like that the floorboards are kind of long and huge. You can position your feet anywhere you want to, like this, like this, like this. Also, I appreciate this backrest over here. At least my butt has something to lean on and I'm not moving to the back constantly. And I find it very comfortable. My arms unstretched out. It's a very nice riding position, I feel. Of course, if you're any scooter, because of the riding ergonomics, right, you tend to hunch your back. So do straighten your back from time to time. So the ride height is 80 cm. I'm 165, and as you can see, I'm tiptoeing quite a bit on the AK550 Premium. This is due to the wide seat of the bike, also because of its weight of 226 kg, right? I cannot really push the bike with my legs. I'm struggling quite a bit. I tend to get off the bike and push it the way like you push the bike in the driving school. But other than that, it's okay lah, I feel. And I like this cockpit view over here. All the buttons are within reach, and you have a nice commanding view of the road ahead of you. So up next, we come to the general design of the AK550 Premium. From KYMCO themselves, they describe the model as streamlined, muscular. The overall look is carried over from the K50 concept. Upon first impressions, it has a very long wheelbase, 158 cm, comparing to the T-Max at just under 157. Its length is probably the most notable thing you're gonna notice when you first see the bike. And I've met people with this bike and they say that this bike is a really long scooter. Its overall appearance is based on elegance and aerodynamics. Its curvy silhouette gives off an aerodynamic advantage, better wind flow for better performance and fuel savings. Its sharp edges and angular lines provide an aggressive and futuristic outlook. Signal indicators are flush within the bodywork. I also love the forged swing arm and the exposed belting on it. Honestly, my personal opinion is modern and futuristic appearance. It's not too overdone and it's recognizably a scooter, and it's something relatable and visually appealing to my eyes, I feel. Okay, so up next we come to the handlebar controls and gauge cluster. So for the handlebar itself, as with a premium scooter such as this, no less, it comes with plastic cladding. Kind of difficult to mount accessories if you ask me, and they've actually mounted the ball mount over here on the big fluid cap, and the on button is also on here at the center. Okay, so up next is the handlebar controls. The buttons, as you can see, there's a lot of buttons to toggle the individual controls and features of the bike. Kind of like a space shuttle kind of thing going on here, and makes the bike even more premium, I feel. Okay, so to the left over here, the front, we got the 3-stage heated grips. On top of that, we got the mode button, standard and rain mode. We got the light button. Okay, so on top of the daytime running lights, if you need additional illumination, especially if you're riding in pitch black or in the dark, even though the daytime running lights is already bright enough, the light button will definitely help lah. We got the high beam, low beam and passing. To the left of that, we got the cruise control button. Okay, so to set the cruise controls, we press the cruise control and press the set below. And to adjust, simply press plus minus. And then below that, we got the signal indicators. Below that, the horn. And to the right of that, we got the electronic windshield control. So you can control this windshield's height electronically up and down, as in another 8.5 cm of height to the windshield. So to the right over here, we got the engine kill switch, buttons to adjust the TFT and LCD gauge cluster. Below that is to toggle between the noodle interface and also the LCD cluster, and below that is the starter and hazards. And the center console here features 4 buttons. Inspired by a keys of a piano, KYMCO has determined that these features are frequently used when you want to access the bike. Like for example, we got the fuel gas cap button, the underseat storage button, the trip meter, and the handlebar lock. So you can actually lock the handlebar. Ta-da! And the handlebar locks in place. And to release, simply press again. And there it is. Okay, so let's access the gauge cluster, and the gauge cluster is a unique combination, once again, TFT and LCD display. So press the start button, KYMCO noodle interface, and you can see the Tabak Overlanders logo for some reason on the TFT port over here. You can actually customize this. I'm gonna get to it in a bit. As we turn on the gauge cluster, you can see the orange accents surrounding it. This is to signify that the bike is currently in power mode. So to change the mode, simply press the mode button, and blue color signifies that it is in rain mode. And press it once again, we got the standard mode with TCS off, TCS highlighted in green. And press it one more time, we got the standard mode with TCS on. So that is how to turn on and off the TCS. So to the left side of the LCD gauge cluster, we got the tachometer almost surrounding the LCD display, the odometer below it, the voltmeter, TCS. And so if activated the cruise control, it will show in the left LCD display also. To toggle the display, okay, you toggle on the right handlebar control and then press the up and down button above it. So you toggle between trip A, trip B, oil, belting, and back to the odometer. Toggle up, and it will show you the voltmeter, average fuel consumption, TPMS, tire pressure monitoring system, front, and this is the rear, and back to the voltmeter. Okay, so to the right LCD display, we got the orange accents. It signifies that it's currently in road mode. We got the fuel gauge, temperature gauge, speedometer, and other warning lights. And if you activated the heated grips, it will also show here lah. Once again, it's a triple stage heated grips. Okay, press accordingly to adjust, long press to turn it on and off. To the center of the gauge cluster is a what I call a TFT display port lah. Basically, when you link to your phone using the KYMCO Noodle app, you can basically receive phone notifications, navigations, and there's a whole range of customization display options for the center TFT port. Additionally, you can use the app to update the bike's firmware as well. Okay, so to toggle right, once again, go back to the right handlebar control, press the noodle button, and currently it's showing my notifications. So press the noodle button. I'm gonna generally show you guys. We got the gauge cluster over here. This gauge cluster basically is the same thing is being shown at the LCD screens on the left and right. Okay, press down and it will show you the clock, which is also customizable. And this is the weather, which shows that it's cloudy today and it's a Monday and 32 degrees Celsius. Very hot, I'm sweating right now. And the speedometer, And if you want to display, for example, a photo or maybe like logo or something, you can use this to customize. And for me, I've put in the Tamak of Landers logo, a picture of Zah and Leon, and my own picture. Oh my god, this is super cool. I can imagine like if you're riding down the street and you miss your wife, you miss your girlfriend whatsoever, and you just toggle the picture gallery accordingly, see your significant other on the screen. Okay, so now we're gonna play with the app. Okay, so let's go through the app, and there's this feature called Find My Scooter. So for example, if you park really far away, or you borrow your friend the scooter, you can activate Find My Scooter and just monitor where your scooter is. The scooter is currently here right now at my house, so we're just gonna go back. So for this, it's not customizable, the speedometer and tachometer. And you scroll below, and this is the navigation. Okay, so right now showing the navigation. Okay, the clock, there's a whole array of adjustments that you can make. Wow, look at this. I think I like this one, orange color. So it's updating the TFT accordingly. And back, and here we have the weather. There's a whole range of designs that you can choose from. Wow, look at this. And this is the speedometer. Once again, set a design and you can choose a whole range of designs. And this is my favorite, of course, the gallery. So you can pre-install photos. You can put in a total of 6 photos inside, and of course it will reflect accordingly in the TFT display lah. Customizations wise, it's pretty damn cool lah. To see your own logo or maybe your significant other in the TFT of your bike, it's like wow. Cool lah, cool lah. And also to mention, there's a parking brake over here in which you're parking on a slope. You can activate the parking brake, push it out, and the wheels will lock accordingly. And the brake levers are also manually adjustable. Whew. I have to say that the AK550 Premium is packed with a lot of features and really makes it a versatile machine for every occasion. Of course, as with any other scooter, you can definitely expect storage to be built into the bike. Okay, so first we start with the storage cubby over here. To open it, press over here, and inside you can see it's quite deep, and you can put some of your stuff like maybe your keys, your phone, your passport. And speaking of phone, to charge on the go, there's a built-in USB-A port inside also. And take note that you actually cannot lock the storage cubby even though the bike is turned off. So do not put any valuables inside here. Okay, so to access the underseat storage, okay, press the piano key over here. And you can hear the mechanical lock whizzing. Open it up, and there you go. It's not that huge, I must say. According to KYMCO, it's capable of storing 1 full-face helmet and 1 semi-cover helmet. No number or figure is provided on its storage capacity. And for me, I think that if you're going for grocery shopping, NTUC, or even Johor, right? You can put in your groceries in here. And also, if you're touring, I think no issue with underseat storage. Like more than enough, I feel. But just not that big compared to some of those Japanese scooters out there lah. But compared to other brands like maybe European scooters and all that, this is probably the biggest. We also got a little light over here to illuminate the underseat storage when it's night time. Oh, and additionally, Motor Sport installed a Global Eagle camera, and the unit is over here lah, as you can see. And yeah, so as with a scooter, you can definitely expect a lot of riding technology to be integrated into the bike to make riding easier and convenient. For the AK, they've definitely stepped it up a notch, and I can see just looking at it, it's really packed with a lot of features and stuff. Let me list them out for you guys. You got a keyless transponder in this beautiful leather case, I must add. Ride-by-wire throttle, hazard lights, power modes, standard and rain, AIBS or Advanced Intelligent Braking System is basically cornering ABS, so let me explain. While a traditional ABS system operates by preventing the wheels from locking up during braking, when paired with related sensors with a system that is situationally aware throughout the ride, while negotiating bends or turns, the AIBS sensors gives the right amount of braking force and pressure in order for the tires to keep traction and keep the rider's line throughout the turn. AIBS or cornering ABS is also paired with Brembo brake calipers. We got 2 Brembo 4-piston calipers in the front, clamping 270mm discs, 2 piston caliper with 230mm disc at the rear. Electronically adjustable windshield adds in 8.5 centimeters of height, Great wind protection, I must add. Full LED lighting all around, with probably the brightest daytime running lights I've seen on the scooter thus far. 41mm inverted telescopic forks in the front, and a side-mounted rear monoshock, and it's mounted almost horizontally in what KYMCO calls horizontal trailing arm rear suspension. Helps to reduce the unspun weight, keeping the rear wheel firmly planted to the ground. And this is something that we've already seen with the Kawasaki Z900. Cruise control is also a notable feature on the AK550. Traction control, and we got a USB-A port in the storage cubby also. Don't forget the TFT port at the gauge cluster. Also to mention again, there's a 3-stage heated grips. And I think I've covered them all. Horn check for the AK550 Premium. Kind of high pitch and pretty loud. So up next we come to colors, and usually for premium scooters in this class like this, the colors are usually dark and monotonous. I wish they had more brighter colors and fun colors to play with, but this is a serious premium bike we're talking about. So over here we have is the beige color, which is probably the brightest color in the lineup, and we also got black. Up next we come to price. Okay, so from the official dealer of KYMCO in Singapore, Motor Sport, on the road machine price is 24,700 without COE and insurance. So they're giving a 3-year warranty from the factory, and also a free rear carrier with shot 45-litre box, basic raincoat, and basic helmet if you buy the AK550 Premium from them. Okay, so for Malaysia, it's distributed by Bordenas. Some of the KYMCO models have been previously rebadged to Bordenas in the Malaysian market. Machine price itself is 65,500 excluding road tax, insurance, and registration.
Low to mid-range is awesome. Definitely when you want to get away from sticky situations, you just pull up the throttle and the bike really goes. And I really love the suspension. It absorbs most of the impacts and road imperfections really well. Provides that riding comfort. Handling, as I've said, is pretty awesome. And the rear suspension also, I have to mention that though KYMCO did not explicitly mention this in the specs, but it's horizontally mounted, similar to what I've already seen in the Kawasaki Z900. And they like to boast about that feature. I think this attributes to its awesome handling and suspension probably. Usually for scooters, for some reason, right, the suspension is pretty bad, given that there's a lower suspension travel due to its smaller wheels and shorter ride height, and with a combination of long and obnoxious body, right? This one, the AK550 Premium, the suspension feels much more like a motorcycle, a premium motorcycle I must say. And not only that, the handling also feels like a motorcycle as well. So that's why when you negotiate corners, right, on a typical scooter, on most scooters that I have tested out, the weight tends to get thrown around everywhere, but this one is really stable, and you can negotiate corners and turns confidently, I feel. Squeezing in a bit traffic, I feel that due to its long wheelbase and also wide, the mirrors especially, I'm using my mirrors to judge the spaces in between the cars as I'm lane splitting. It can get a bit cumbersome and something you need to get used to, but overall I feel once you get adapted to it, and once you ride it regularly, and you can lane split just as easily as any other motorcycle or any other scooter. I've seen like pakcik-pakcik or veteran riders in their gold wings, lane splitting and squeezing in between the cars and traffic on a gold wing, no less. So I think it's all about how long you can adapt to the bike, and you develop the skill over time to master riding such a bike lah. Which I believe that for all bikes is the same case. You will eventually get adapted to it, and it may feel weird, especially if you are coming off from another machine with totally different characteristics and attributes, but eventually, when you ride long enough, you'll get the hang of it. Okay, the roundabout right here. Woo, look at this, just leading into it. Oh man, quite aggressively too. Actually, the fun factor is there, like it accelerates at a twist of a throttle. It really goes. You can lean and take sharp bends confidently at high speeds, and these riding aids, they're there to facilitate and help you. I always believe that riding technology is there to help you, not to dampen the performance or handling of a bike, you know. And not to say that, oh, now kids nowadays, they cannot survive without riding aids or riding technology. But come on, man, it's there to facilitate and assist in your riding and make it much more easier to live with. I think touring, no issue lah. Long distance, no issue. No, when I'm sitting on this bike for quite some time, I don't feel my butt getting sore, restless on it. It's a very comfortable riding position. I can just stretch my legs thanks to its long floorboards. And the cockpit view right now, you know, all the features and riding controls, they're within some reach. And I really love the high windshield as well. Really comes useful for when you're on the highway. And the windshield, I don't find it too high, nor is it too low, especially at this high setup right now. And I think all this while we've been overlooking all of the other brands and offerings from other manufacturers. I mean, all you can think of is Honda, Yamaha, you know, or Japanese bikes. And I'm happy that Motor Sport actually loaned me this bike for an extended period, because I really get to experience the AK550 as an owner. You know, I've been dailying this bike for the past 5 days, and I can attest to it that it's a really awesome daily. And at the same time, for the weekend getaway, or occasionally you want to drive long distance to Malaysia, Thailand, no issue. I mean, here in Malaysia, they got more than us. They also brought in the AK550. So you don't have to worry about parts or serviceability. Definitely the mechanics over here who can do the AK bikes, they'll be able to help you out. Okay, so entering the highway now. Let's see how fast you can go. Low to mid-range, I would say it's okay, it's pretty decent. And just twist the throttle if you want to go faster. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh man. And thanks to the tall windshield, right, at this height, it deflects the wind pretty well. Barely feeling the wind in my face and in my body right now. Oh, not too bad, eh. Wow, I think touring is gonna be awesome. And there's also cruise control. Oh man, look at this. The cruise control takes over seamlessly. It maintains the speed where you set at. All bikes marketed as tourers or long distance should have cruise control built in. And also not to forget, the throttle is also right by wire, so the throttle response, I feel, is slightly better. The bike is really responsive, and I'm in total 100% control of the bike as I'm riding it. I mean, great handling, great performance, all of this technology, and the fun factor also. What more do you want in a bike, right? And KYMCO, I feel, you know, being regularly overlooked over the Japanese brands, I mean, it's high time that people know about all of these good and obscure bikes that is engineered to perfection.
So guys, I've been given the opportunity from Motor Sport to bring back this bike, and basically I've been using it as my own bike for the past 1.5 weeks now. And what more can I say? It's a luxury SUV on 2 wheels. Handling is a dream. Feels much more like a motorcycle as opposed to a scooter. With its great low center of gravity, riding aids like cornering ABS and TCS, I feel really confident to take in and lean in the corners aggressively compared to other scooters. Usually scooters tend to be kind of boaty with its obnoxious body and weight being thrown around. Suspension really takes in a lot of impact, provides a nice and comfortable ride. Some of its riding tech you'll probably think that you'll never use, but may actually come in handy someday, like heated grips, for example, for those cold night riding trips. And the picture gallery, which may seem kind of gimmicky, but I find it awesome and intriguing that you can actually put your own logo or picture on display at the dash. KYMCO really made full use of the TFT display for the 550 Premium. So overall, that is what I like about the bike. Personally, I feel that this bike is kind of heavy, and I find myself pushing the bike often as opposed to straddling it with my legs as compared to other bikes. Its size is rather intimidating during heavy traffic and lane splitting, but I feel that this is something that you need to adapt over time lah. Overall, I enjoyed my time with the KYMCO AK550 Premium. It's a great commuter and especially an awesome tourer with the technology, conveniences and ease of handling and great performance, scooter riders are gonna appreciate that such machine exists. Once again, huge thanks to Motor Sport for loaning me the AK550 Premium for the review. And if because of this video you're thinking of buying an AK550 or you like to get an AK550, simply mention this review or quote us Tambak Overlanders and you'll get a Global Eagle Dashcam for free worth $300. So that's it for the vlog, and we'll see you guys in the next one.